Hello everyone! Today we are decorating the entire first floor of the massive farm and estate owned by the Goodacres. This is part 2 of a 3-parter. In the first part, we built the estate, the barn, and decorated the exterior. In the third part, we will be decorating the second floor. In this part, we will decorate the kitchen, dining room, entryway, family room, office, and Owen's man cave. The first room we are working on is the kitchen. I decided to start in the kitchen because it's my favorite room in houses to decorate. They're such warm and cozy places, and I imagine the Sims make a lot of great memories there. I'm starting with the fireplace and making it a focal point in the kitchen. The fireplace in the family room makes the chimney stick out on the kitchen side, so instead of covering it up by placing a wall around it, I decided to incorporate it into the design. The chimney is a default replacement from Lord Crump's that changes the shape of the chimney and the colors, and I really love the new shape. It feels very country and cottagey. I add a wall that's the same color as the chimney and then place the Buggy Boo's arched niches around it to make sure it stands out even more. I wanted to use the stovepipe fireplace for a more vintage feel, like maybe this was the original stove that they used to cook on back in the day, and then I put the faux fireplace facade around it. The fireplace is by Lord Crump's and the faux fireplace facade is by Platinum Aspiration. For the kitchen counters, I'm using Lord Crump's conversion of the Country Charm kitchen items and Thimble Sim's conversions of the stove and fridge. The kitchen is very green because Becca's favorite color is green. I thought about using a different color, something more neutral to keep in line with the Tudor style of the house, but I thought that Becca would want a bright and colorful kitchen since she would be the one in the kitchen a lot. She considers the kitchen her domain, even though she only has like a 2 cooking skill. But since this is her space, she wanted her space to be pretty. The one thing I forgot to add, and I didn't think about it until I was done with most of the rooms, is that I wanted to make a pantry between the kitchen and the dining room. I figured since they're farmers, they would have a lot of produce left over, so they would need a place to put all their dry goods. I also wanted Becca to can fruit and veggies, so I needed a space to put Sun and Moon's canning crafting machine and all of that. So I might end up doing a renovation sometime where I can fit all of that into this area. So when I build my kitchens, I'm a stickler for using the kitchen work triangle. And if you don't know what that is, it's a design theory that the best way, the most efficient way to work in the kitchen is if the stove, the sink, and the refrigerator are all points in the triangle and are close to one another. It's supposed to help with taking less steps for food prep and cleaning and all that. It's probably an outdated thing now, but it's one of those things that's just ingrained in me. And every kitchen needs to be set up like this. So anyway, that's where I start in every Sims kitchen. I figure out the configuration of work triangle first, and then I place everything else around that. I usually try to put the sink under a window so Sims could look out when they're doing the dishes, but in this case I added the sink to the center island instead. The island isn't really an island per se, it's just the regular kitchen counters placed in an island formation because this set didn't come with island counters. The main reason I would need actual island counters is so Sims could sit down and eat, but I think there's a mod that I can use to turn the counters into dining spots. I just have to remember what it is and where to find it. Throughout the kitchen, I put little tchotchkes all around. Becca and Owen really like chickens, so I think Becca collects anything that has a rooster or a hen on it. I also add greenware plates everywhere because I imagine she collects those. And then I just add a bunch of farm-related country kitsch all throughout the kitchen. I kept all of the things that the Goodacres had in their inventory from their last house, unless it was something weird like a deleted mesh or something. So things like their juicers from their old house, as well as some of their collectibles. Oh, and I did download the OMSPs that turn invisible when you're in live mode. Thank you, 12 Robin, for letting me know about these. I still like to make them invisible in Build and Buy so I can see exactly where I'm putting the objects though. And to add on to that, thank you guys so much for giving me tips and letting me know about other CC I could use. I really, really appreciate it because, you know, just because I've been playing this game forever doesn't mean that I know everything. And there's definitely mods in CC that I've never heard of, or if I have, I don't really know what they do. So I really do appreciate when you all give me tips and such. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to you guys. On the side of the kitchen, I add a little coffee and tea bar. This area might change into the canning area when I'm ready to do that. I don't know, I'm not too sure. Right now, I think it looks cute the way it is, so I might not change it. And again, I'm using a lot of clutter conversions from the Country Kitchen kit, and these are converted by Delon Ariel. And yeah, I overly cluttered this kitchen, but I like putting a lot of stuff around the kitchen. I feel like kitchens are the most used room in the house, and I like them when I'm decorating them to look really lived in. Also, if you're wondering how I shift everything up without the OMSPs, I don't know if I've ever said this before in any of the other videos, but I use Lemaire's Shiftable Everything mod, which might be the greatest mod ever created for building and decorating. You can get it at Mod The Sims, but I'll leave a link below too. But it's so useful and so helpful. The dining room is in front of the house and it's connected to the kitchen behind it. I decorated the dining room in more of a neutral and somber brown. I wanted most of the walls in the house to be in a paneled wood to be more in keeping with the Tudor style of the house. This wall pattern is a conversion by Lord Crumps. The floor is also by Lord Crumps and it's from the Horse Ranch conversion set. It's my favorite floor and I've been using it on almost all of my builds because it's very rustic and worn, so it fits in very well with the cottage style. The fireplace I'm using is by Jinx Sims, and I used it because it doesn't come with a chimney, so it won't mess with the look of the exterior. I end up adding faux chimneys to the roof in the same locations as the fireplaces with no chimneys, so it still looks realistic. And I don't know if you caught that before, but I have the smoke alarm hidden behind the fireplace. I don't really like for them to show because most of them are ugly. I have different alarms that look like other objects, and I used one of them in the kitchen. The one in the kitchen uses a copper pan hanging above the stove that's actually a smoke alarm, but the one in the dining room is one that Owen bought from the fire station, so I don't want to just get rid of it. In every room that has a fireplace, I also have a smoke alarm. So here's a bit of Goodacre lore. Because she's so religious, Becca thinks that they shouldn't have smoke alarms in the house. She thinks if the watcher wants her to burn in a fire, then so be it. But after Becca almost burned down the whole house with her terrible cooking, Owen immediately went to the fire station and bought a fire alarm. So that's why they have fire alarms. For the dining table, I'm using 2 tables from Horse Ranch squished together, and the chairs are also Horse Ranch conversions. Since the Goodacres want 10 kids, I want them to have as much space as possible for everyone to eat together. This configuration only seats 10, so some of the Sims will eventually have to eat in the kitchen. I also added high chairs for some of the toddlers to sit in during meals. They currently have 4 toddlers, so I added 4 high chairs. But let's be honest, the kids will probably never get fed in them. The Goodacres really don't have time to properly feed their children, so everybody just gets a bottle. When I'm decorating, I try to put all of the big pieces of furniture down and then add the clutter. With this room, I wanted it to feel more formal, but still a little country, a bit more down to earth. The Goodacres are wealthy, but they don't want to shove it in everyone's faces. The china cabinets hold Becca's greenware plate collection. She really likes plates. You'll see a lot of greenware plates throughout the house. These plates are made by Mutsky, and they're repoed to the Seasons plate shelf, so they take whatever recolors you have of those. Also, the cabinets, the recolor of these cabinets, they have hot pink accessories in them, and I didn't like that, so I recolored it to green just to match the plates. I might have done it after I finished recording the video, so it might not show up. You might not see the green color change until the end of the video. Over the fireplace, I add a lovely boar's head. Owen is one of those guys that thinks it's cool to hunt animals and bring home the trophies. And I imagine that he insists Becca hang up all of his accomplishments. But Becca doesn't want to scare the babies, so she wraps a pretty wreath around the boar's head. She does this with other quote-unquote trophies that are found around the house. The boar head is a Sims medieval conversion from Evanesco. Since the Goodacres are so religious, I added an altar in the dining room with a mini Grey Lady statue. The altar niche is by Gwenke, and the Sims can pray at it. It has prayer animations, and the actual table that it's on is a Life and Death conversion by T. Vicky Sims. I think I might add this altar table to the Abbey as well. It wasn't converted at the time that I built the lot, but I think it would work really well there. Since Becca is pretty much the founder of this religion, I thought it makes sense to have a prayer altar in her home. Now we're in the front entryway. My goal for this area is that even though this is a huge mansion, it's still a comfy, casual place lived in by real Sims, and that everyone feels welcome. I use white paneling for the walls instead of a dark brown, so the entryway feels more welcoming and more inviting. I add the barn doors going into the other rooms of the house just because I like them. I really like these barn doors. They're Sims 3 conversions by Zeus Sims and Must Love Cats, and I use them everywhere. Like, I know barn doors inside the house is going out of style, but I don't really care. Also, I know Horse Ranch has their own version of these barn doors, but they haven't been converted yet, so I'm patiently waiting for those. I really wish I knew how to convert objects and make them work correctly. I would love to learn how to make really cool stuff. In this room, I add some clutter, like jackets that they can put on before they head out, leashes for Clementine, their puppy. There's mail on the side tables and packages that were maybe left at the front porch. There's wallets, keys, Owen's cowboy hat, things like that. I add 2 chairs and a console table by the stairs for a small reading nook. Maybe they can sit there and go through their mail or their magazines and see what to keep and what to recycle. The stairs are done in a split level style, and I did those off camera because it always takes me a while to get them right in the proper position. And I didn't want you guys to see me struggle. And then I add some photos. At the end of each round, I take family photos of each household. So I put the latest photo of the Goodacres here in the entryway, and the photo frames are by Jane from Thread and Sandpaper. In the family room, I kept the colors in dark browns, reds, and creams. I wanted a cozy place for the family to hang out and relax in. I split up the big space into 4 areas. There's the TV nook, the by the fireplace nook, the reading nook, even though I didn't really have room to place chairs there in the reading nook, and there's the gaming nook. The TV area uses this cute barn door entertainment center by 13 Pumpkin, and I fill it up with the TV and entertainment items from the Nostalgia set conversions by Kestrel Teens. I use this set in the Abbey, and I really love using it. I also use the chairs from that set in the living room. The sofa is a leather one from the Horse Ranch conversions, and I like the idea of the soft, feminine floral chairs with the more masculine, cowboy-looking sofa. And again, Becca tried to prettify the deer head on the wall by adding a flowery wagon wheel around it. I think it looks so silly. I love it so much. The gaming area I added because 2 of the kids will have gaming as their one true hobby, and I like to add items in the house for their hobbies on the lot. I really don't see this family as tech literate. They're not gonna go and buy video games or a computer. So I added the Don't Wake the Llama game. It's a fun game that the whole family can play, and it's very wholesome. I think Becca will approve. The first bathroom on the first floor was supposed to just be a powder room, just a toilet and a sink. But later I was thinking it should be a full-sized bathroom so the Sims can wash their dog and such. It's mostly cream and gray with the rustic brown furniture. My goal is to include potty chairs in all of the bathrooms for the toddlers, since we have so many toddlers. There's 3 hallways. This one, which leads to the bathroom and the dining room, the long one that connects to the family room, and another one that connects to the office and the man cave. I didn't really know what to do with the area, so I just try to add seating and a bit of plants and try not to block the Sims routes to the other rooms. This section of the longer hallway has the family photos that I've taken at the end of each round. It's so fun to watch the family grow from just the 2 Sims to the 9 Sims. It's crazy. I'm treating this area as a kind of mudroom. Eve's school backpack is there and the little shoe cubby is there so they can take off their shoes and put on their wellies or whatnot. This hall also leads directly to the backyard of the farm. The middle part is like a little central nervous center of the home. It has the family calendar and reminders. Maybe it has the chores list, that kind of thing. And I also add a little faux doggy door for Clementine. It doesn't actually work, but I just thought it was a cute addition. This part of the hallway is pretty plain. I add a huge photo of the Gray Lady, and then I add Dee Dee's portrait photos of the children. I thought since the Gray Lady is the patron saint of children, and the reason why they can't die in a fire, this little collage would be like she's watching over the Goodacre children. For the second bathroom on this floor, I wanted it to be a full-size bathroom in case they decide to change Owen's office into a guest bedroom. This bathroom connects to the office and the hallway. Owen's office is located in the front of the house, and it's where he has all of his paperwork for the grocery store. He has another trophy head. This time it's a bear, and this one Becca just left alone. It doesn't have to have the pretty flowers around it or anything like that, just dead bear. This one is also by Evanesco, and it's a Sims Medieval conversion. He adds a little area for Clementine to sleep by the fireplace, but more than likely a toddler is going to sleep there instead. Owen had these radio-controlled vehicles in his inventory that he bought from Oceanside Customs, which is a garage owned by the Firestones, which is another founding family. I decided to place them on the fireplace mantle like they were his collectibles. I also add the flour sack baby to his room. Owen is always in aspiration failure, and he actually bought this from the bakery. So now you can see where he gets his flour sack baby from. I also add his bug collection, his deeds to the businesses, his first simoleons award from the previous Oceanside grocery store, and then other clutter. I add some secret documents because he's part of the secret society, and I thought that he should have some confidential, for your eyes only papers. And I also add a photo of his lovely wife to his desk. And the last room for the video is the man cave. Like I said before, Owen is part of a secret society, which is called the Royal Knights of the Llama Brotherhood. So far there's only 3 members, but that's okay. So the Brotherhood needed a hangout, and since Owen is too busy to go out all the time, he turned one of his rooms into a quote-unquote Brotherhood den. The other 2 members are Malcolm the 10th, naturally, and Fitz Biltmore, who is the architect and the city planner of the Hood. Malcolm's wife wouldn't let him have a man cave. Fitz's wife definitely wouldn't let him have one. She's a cop. But Becca doesn't really care, so that's why Owen gets to have his own special man place. So Owen's man cave consists of all the fun stuff. There's a bar, a poker table, a pool table, and a jukebox. And I decorated it all in the Castle Store stuff, so everything is red and gold to match that. I kind of fashioned it after an old Western saloon. I think it's gaudy, but a little bit classy. I might actually make them a clubhouse one day, maybe if they get more members into their brotherhood. And that's about it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more detailed photos of the build, please check out my Tumblr linked below. I will update my website with all the photos, but not until I'm finished with the whole build. Hopefully I can have the second floor video up for you guys pretty soon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Later!
Oh, Shablouf.
Ha! Here goes the Tiffany. Boshiza. Я посиди. О, сиди. Хай. Типа Босикова. Посиди. Боса. Кушида. Ебатова.
Voilà, Léo.
Босива. Осика. Босиза. Я посиди. Боса.
Crabs. Look at that quantity. Oh, Bubba's out. Oh. 잡아. 부자. 오, 아버지. 하프나티. 아, 블루쉿. 어?